Welcome back in the bait lair. Cut and Shoot Creations, CNS Baits. Today we're going to start a series of talking about how to make soft plastics and save a little money, do it a little on the cheap if you can. I'm always trying lots of different stuff. You know, I have several different videos of different types of mold, different type of molds. What we have today are some that I 3D printed. The open pore mold is a new 3D printer filament I'm using. It's a PLA HF. So my first time trying it, I'm going to see it's supposed to have a little bit more resistance to higher temps. We'll see how that one does. This other one, I've shot these. These are some little bellows gills, or I think is what they're called. Make a good little trailer. The plastic I'm using is just some of the red bug that I still had. So we're going to shoot these, let them cure out, see how they look. We can talk a little more after they come out about the pros and cons of this. It'll definitely save you some money. You're definitely not going to get the same quality of baits. This is never anything I would do for anything I would be going to sell to anyone. This is all just stuff for my own use, and as I start trying to learn how to design baits for myself, I can do this for prototypes. And if I find something that really I think is really going to be a great bait for me, I could possibly have it made in aluminum mold. So, and the reason I don't ever hand pour on camera is just what you're seeing right now. Definitely not my strong suit. We'll let these cure out. I'll show you how to clean that overspell off there when we get back. Be right back with you. Alright, these are all cured up enough to take them out of these molds. So when you got that over pour like that, you have good sharp edges. Just take your thumb, run it along the sharp edge part. Those little pieces will slide right out there. And then you can just take your more tricky part is right here. Take your finger, kind of press up against it, get a little bit of friction going. And you can start to take that on out of there. This is still going to need a little bit of trim up. Still needs a lot of time to cure out on this one. Spread it out there. I don't know that I would ever fish with this, but I saw it and I just wanted to give it a try. So, and this is that new plastic, that PLA HF filament that I was using. I did print it at a 40% infill. I don't see any signs of any warping or anything else. I did shoot that plastic around 320 degrees, and I brushed all this down with non-stick coating, vegetable oil coating. Nothing fancy. It does need something though, because it is PLA, it is porous. If you don't put something in there, you'll you'll never get your baits out. So we can see now how these little bellows gills turned out. Just got to be really careful taking them out of there. You see right here, they really kept their detail well. They got all those little ridges in them. Like I said, this bait just makes a good little trailer if you want something really small. Crappie bait, whatever. And I always like to rebrush these before I put them up. And this is just regular PLA. So nothing fancy here. That's a really small mold. So as long as you're shooting your plastic in that 320 range and give it plenty of time to cool down. The bad part about using these 3D printed molds with the PLA is they don't dissipate the heat off as quickly as, say, aluminum molds will. So you have to be really patient before you start demolding. You'll get a little, if you see right there on that little ball tail right there, it has just that hair, a little bit of flashing on it. That also is something that's kind of common. Like I said, I would never make any baits that I would sell in molds like this. I do it for stuff for myself, and then something that I think maybe, hey, I want to try fishing with that. And you don't want to invest a bunch of money into a aluminum mold when it's going to be something just for you to fish with, and you don't know if you're even going to like it at that or not. So that's kind of when I do this. I'm starting to learn how to design my own things using Shaper 3D. I've done a lot of, or not a lot, but quite a few polymer clay cutter designs. So for earrings. So I am slowly but surely learning how to design small things in a 3D type program. So designing my own baits is the main reason I got into 3D printing to start off with, because I wanted to learn how to design my own baits and print my own baits, get a concept, try to work a proof in something like this just in PLA, and then if it's, you know, something that I want, something that I think will work out really good, then I could have a aluminum mold made of it by a manufacturer. I know in most of my videos I'm using those CNC aluminum molds, and they are not crazy expensive, but yet they are expensive. So something like this, if you have a 3D printer, have some skills, want to get started in it, kind of figure out how to do your own stuff, it's a good avenue in. I have some stone molds. I'll do a video on those later. I get some molds from Moose Ridge Molds. The blue goo, as they're sometimes referred to. They're all open pour. I'm planning to do a video on those later. And then the molds I started off with, Do It, Stonecast, or Central Series. I'll do a video on those as well. I have some other ones here that I attempted to pour, and I didn't want to pour these on camera. I'm going to be honest with you, because I'm not really sure about either one of these molds. They didn't print very well, so I don't know how much it had to do with my settings, how much it had to do with the file itself. I didn't want to shoot them on camera, not because I don't want you to see my failures, but I didn't want to have to edit it out if I burned my hands or something. So, and this little, I think they called this one an earthworm. I really like this bait. I can see myself pouring quite a few of these for my own stock. Nice little bait there. Small ridges to it. I think that might work quite well. Here's the one. This is a grub. This is the one I'm worried about because it looked like it was printed kind of uneven, so it probably has some flashing, and it didn't even shoot all the way. So definitely got some issues, but it didn't flash. So not a bad little grub. I guess I could try again to shoot that and see how it turns out. I'll get my stuff melted back down. We'll try to reshoot it. I'll get back with you and we'll see how it looks. Alright, I made a second attempt to shoot this grub. I don't know that I'm going to have very much more success because it felt like it flashed really bad. But only one way to see. We'll take it out here and see what we got. It feels really light, like it's still like it didn't fill all the way in. So I'm not sure when it felt like it flashed and now it feels like it didn't fill all the way in. I'm having a hard time holding out much faith in it. See there how bad that sticks. That's why we put that spray on there. It did flash pretty good. But we did get a few good ones out there. So it's not a complete failure. I might try to print it again with some slightly different settings than what I used. I could possibly slow the printing process down a little bit more. I printed on a Keedy X-Max. I ran it at a 16 high quality setting with 40% infill, and it kept decent detail in it. It just doesn't mate up very well in the corners, and that's what caused all the flashing. But if you get them while they're still kind of warm like this, you're really better off if they have a little more flashing on them than a little less, because you can just carefully grab a hold of that and you can get most of that flashing off, and then you can clean them up even a little further once they're dry. I don't fish with grubs a whole lot anyway. I just wanted to try this plastic and try this mold. I got this file from Cults 3D. If you're interested in going to look for files to 3D print, just go in there and type soft plastic molds or fishing lure molds, or there are folks on there with files to print out your own crankbaits and everything else, which I've done some of that as well. I know I haven't done any painting of my crankbaits on the channel. It's just really hard to try to get any halfway good quality video with my exhaust fans running. So I promise I'll work something out and make that happen in the future. I did pour one more of this 4-inch worm. I just really like the way that first one turned out. This one almost flashed. It's like right to the edge on the bottom. and it's got a little hole in it as well. So not sure how I could have done that any different. Maybe cooled the plastic down a little more. So that was 1 and 2, so that was only 50%, and this one was only 50%. All of these right here did well. The really small bait, single injection. I would say that you're probably better on, if you're going to try to use 3D printed stuff, is to either do either do single injection. This too also has a very small port, so it's hard to get the right amount of pressure on it. But if you're going to do it, it's probably best to do something open pour. Make sure you use good quality filament. Set your infill up high. Stick around. I'm going to come back at the end. I'll put a little thing on here. I'm going to do my 100 subscriber giveaway. I've been putting that off, so stick around. I'll come back in a little bit here and figure out the information for that. Thanks so much. All right, we're back to close this video out. Hope you enjoyed it. As I said in the video, next video we'll continue on. We're going to do this little more budget friendly type pours. We're going to be using these some of these molds that I just got in the mail today from Moose Ridge. So I think I'm going to make that my next video. Like I said, we're going to do a 100 subscriber giveaway. So just be subscribed, like the video, and just put the word bait in the comments. And if you want, tell me what you like to fish with. What colors, what style baits, things of that nature. But just be sure to get the word bait in the comments, and we'll get you entered in for the giveaway. Of course, going to be doing some baits, of course, and probably some swag, a hat, koozie, something. So, appreciate y'all watching. Till next time, Cut and Shoot Creations signing out.